Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something.
Hi there, and welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next, and if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Now today, what we have, and this is why I am so far away from the camera, miles away it seems, is I have this is an acquaintance from work who has this gorgeous 1976 Cadillac, and it's a Fleetwood 60 Series Brougham, I believe. And I guess younger folks will say, "Oh, that's pimp." Well, trust me, this car is pimp. I mean, it is in immaculate condition. And we also have the owner here, and he can shed some light on this car, and what it's actually here for is we're going to track down a coolant leak, and so let me introduce Mark Cook. You don't have to walk miles around the front of the car there. And nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we met each other through your work.
Yeah, and so tell me, how did you come about? Well, one, appreciating some what I refer to as big iron, back in the day, and how you came across this one.
Well, Mike, I said years ago I had a mutual respect for these big cars. I grew up around one of these cars, almost identical to this one, and I don't know, but I'll tell the folks out there. When I was a young kid, I've retired now. I'm 62. I took a little early retirement, but Porter Wagner, the country singer, his daughter was my babysitter, and they had one of these cars. And when I was a kid and I would sit in the back of that car, I thought I was the king. I thought I was rich and something special. So I had a immediate love as a kid for these cars, and I decided after I retired I wanted to start looking for one of these cars. Well, I found this car. The guy wasn't really, he didn't really immediately want to sell it to me, but he was afraid that I was going to take this car and resell it to somebody else to try to make some money. Well,
right.
That was wrong. I loved the car. I found one that I was immediately attracted to. I bought two. I already sold the other one. This is the love I have.
This is the keeper.
This is a keeper, and I drive it every day. I want to be able to drive it, and that's why I'm here, because I want you to help me with a little problem I have up underneath.
Well, we're going to go ahead and pick this up. I have a good idea where I think the leak is based upon what you've shown me previously. Now, first thing we'll need to do is we'll want to disconnect the battery, because we're going to remove the starter to get access to look at some freeze plugs on the side of the motor. So if you wouldn't mind reaching in there and popping the hood.
Be glad to.
This is probably about a 150, 200 pound hood. And yeah, it feels it. Oh my goodness. I don't know that they make hood shocks big enough to lift one of these. So let's disconnect our battery, and you don't have to worry about reprogramming anything on the computer or anything like that, because this car doesn't have any of that. But back in the day, all your luxury and convenience features and things like that, they all started with these cars. The big Caddies and the Lincolns, and that's how they You know, they all started in these cars, and then eventually they would make their way down into you know, the lower models of the brands. But yeah, when you back in the day when you had a Caddy, yeah, you were something. And you just look at this massive engine. This thing is 500 cubic inches, okay? And that is just freaking ginormous for an engine. All right, so we've got our battery disconnected, and I'm gonna set the hood back down here. And oh, that's one other thing I neglected to mention. This engine was actually fuel injected, and that is one of the first. This is one of the first American cars that actually had fuel injection. It's the predecessor to everything that, you know, gets driven today. So let's pick this thing up, get it up in the air, and we'll get that starter out and get a look at those freeze plugs. And I bet you we're going to find a leaky one, because you said you changed the radiator in this car and they flushed the coolant system out when they changed the radiator, and I'll bet you it knocked a bunch of stuff loose, and those freeze plugs, you know, they rust and corrode over time, and once you knock all that stuff out, then you got a leak. Sure glad I got a 10,000 pound lift. All right, now we are going to get ready and pull our starter out of here. It's a big old honking starter, so it has a support bolt in the back. It helps hold it up. Alright, let's get that out of there. That out first. And we're going to disconnect our positive battery cable here. All right, Mark, I'm gonna hand you this. I'm gonna drop this on out of here. Quite heavy. Believe it or not, you do have to finagle these out of here. So that's your starter. You can see where all this corrosion and slag is built up there. That freeze plug's been leaking. And I also noticed one on the other side here. Of course, I don't have this side lit, but you can tell that one's leaking too. So, and also at some point someone replaced the front freeze plug and put an expansion plug in there, which is fine. They work okay, but the reason they would have done that is because to get to that one properly and install an actual freeze plug, you'd have to pull the motor. So they didn't want to do that, which can't say that I blame them, But, so that's where your mystery leak is, Mark.
Wow. Nice to know.
Yep, so next step is we're going to have to drain all the coolant.
Mike, how do you know the proper size? You know that you don't know that till you take that freeze plug out, the one that's corroded.
Well, I was able to look it up.
Okay.
And find the measurement for the proper freeze plug, which this is one of them. Once the radiator and everything else is all drained out, then we'll pull those block drains, and I doubt anything's going to be draining out of them when we pull them out, because they're going to have a bunch of crud behind them built up. But that's okay. We can poke that out and let them drain and make our mess, and we'll be okay. So, all right. Well, let's get to draining. All right, now we've got all our messiness done here, and now we're gonna knock this here freeze plug out. We just knock her in there, and then we'll get on it with a big old pair of channel locks, and she'll pull right on out of there. There we go. That's a Sunday freeze plug. You can see the hole in it there. Now we'll clean the hole out. If you want to come under here, Mark, you can see that.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And you'll see that there's there's not a lot, which is good, because I mean this car's been well taken care of, but that's
Oh my.
You can see where that's all the rust and slag and what have you builds up in there. Now there was probably a lot more before they did the radiator. It's obvious that they did a pretty good flush. Just reach in there and get that last little bit out of there. And that's the problem, when they flush all that stuff out of there, it washes off the back of that freeze plug, and God knows how long all that slag built up on the back of that freeze plug was actually keeping it from leaking. There's a good old brake clean here, and watch our eyes. Clean that hole out. And then what we'll do, we'll just give this a rough little bit of sandpaper here. Clean the hole out. And we'll dry it out here. This is called aviation formagasket. And it seals, but it doesn't, you can get it apart 10 years down the road. The way I figure it is, if it's good enough for an airplane, it's good enough for me. This is what they've been using forever. Back in the day, an old timer turned me on to this. Now, what we're going to do is we got our freeze plug on the end of this appropriately sized socket, and since this is a back freeze plug, we can get a good, I just bumped that camera, I'm sorry. We can get a good angle on it. All right. She's in there. Oh, nice and pretty as you please. And that's it for that. That leak is fixed. Now, I'm not going to bother and bore you with the details of doing the other side because you just saw us do this side. So we're going to go fix that other side, get that one done, and we'll wrap this video up. All right, so we have our freeze plugs replaced, and I'm going to use my phone here to show you the ones that we did. There's that one there, and that one there. We had to drop the Y pipe to get that out, and then we've got our freeze plug right there behind the starter, and the starter's all back in. There's the 3 freeze plugs we changed. That one really wasn't so bad.
That's how you...
It looked worse than it was. This one definitely needed to be changed. And then, of course, this is the first one that was very religious and holy. Went ahead and greased everything up under here. It's back in the days when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Cars had grease fittings on them. And I went ahead and hit up all the grease fittings while I was under here. All right, so we're going to set this thing down and put the coolant back in it, and then we'll check the oil and see how that looks, see if we think it needs a change, and go from there. All right, so we got her done, and she's running. Running like a top, considering she's an old girl. Got her coolant in there and burped it, and he's ready to rock and roll. There's lots of neat stuff he's probably gonna want to do to this car in future visits, but one thing at a time. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see on my channel here, please subscribe, and always feel free to comment, and you can also reach me directly at MacGyversWorkshop@gmail.com, or you can check out my website, www.MacGyversWorkshop.com. Until next time.